Kurt Trades here, and today we're going to be changing the oil on our 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. This also applies for any model years past this, 2021 plus and 2022 plus for the regular Jeep Grand Cherokee, the two-row version. This is for the 3.6 liter V6. This is super easy to do. You can do it yourself. You don't need to have a dealership do it, and you can save a lot of money doing it yourself. This uses full synthetic oil, 0W20. Double check in your user's manual because sometimes throughout the years they change what type of oil, what viscosity to use. I found this on Amazon. You can get a 5-quart jug for about $21 on Amazon shipped for free, which is an awesome deal. You can't get that in most auto parts stores. I'll put a link in the description as well, and same with the filter here. So to pop your hood, on the lower left of the driver's side there's a little latch with the hood. You just reach in here then once it pops the little part, and there's a little tab you push over that direction right here that will release the hood. So the only things you're going to need 5 quarts of full synthetic 0W20, your CH11665 oil filter. Again, those will be in the link in the description. You're going to need a 24mm or 15/16 socket for the oil filter canister. And the torque foot-pounds for that is 18 foot-pounds. You need to be very careful. That's the one thing that is kind of different about these cars for oil changes. With the oil canister, if you over-tighten it, it's got a plastic housing. It's super easy to crack. So do not over-tighten your oil filter housing. That's the one big thing to not mess up. You'll need a 10mm for the 2 bolts that cover the oil drain bolt underneath. And then you'll need a 1/2 inch for the drain plug, and that is 25 foot-pounds of torque when you retighten it. Okay, so before I remove the oil, I like to remove the engine oil cap, and the reason I do that is because when you pull the drain plug, it'll let the air come out and the oil will drain quicker. That way you won't spend as much time waiting. It also does typically say what type of oil to use on the cap, so that way you can make sure you have the correct oil too. So next you're going to go underneath the car here, grab your 10mm and your 1/2 inch to take the bolts off the cover. Pretty simple process, take the 2 bolts off and it flops down. So when you go under there, you look for this cover, it's got the oil on there. This is the 10mm, this one's actually a 1/2 inch as well. So you're going to have to take both these off, and then this will flop down and you can pull it right out. Alright, so when you're waiting for the oil to drain, your oil filter housing is right down under here behind the oil plug and the intake. It's a little bit tight, so you are going to want to use a flex ratchet. This socket I have is way big. If you had a shorter one, it would be a lot easier to fit it in there. It's going to be bumping up against the intake here. You shouldn't have to remove the intake though. You should be able to get it on there pretty easy. So to take this off, you literally just pull it straight back out. So this cap here has an O-ring on here. You're going to want to take the old one off because your new filter will come with a new O-ring. These can be a little tricky to get off. So get rid of your old O-ring there. So one of the most important steps that a lot of people forget is you want to lubricate your O-rings on this new filter before you install it. That way it doesn't have a dry spot on there, and it helps it so that it seals better. Should be able to get enough off of here. And then you're just going to get a little bit of oil on it before you put it on. It slides down to this last little ring on the bottom here. Second to last one. There's 2 rings there. And you're also going to want to put a little bit of oil. There's a small O-ring here as well. Of course my glove rips right on the fingertip here, of course. Okay, so once you put that in there, you can install this. Just snaps on there like that. So it does say also on the cap 25 Newton meters, so set your torque wrench to your weight. It looks like it's 19 foot-pounds or 25 Newton meters. Now, I'm typically not a big torque wrench guy. I don't bust them out very often. You do not want to over tighten that. Again, they crack really easy if you over tighten them, so make sure you use your torque wrench, if nothing else, for this. So we got to click on our torque wrench. Now, do not forget to put the drain plug in underneath, and that is 25 foot-pounds for that. All right, once you have your drain plug and your oil filter housing back in there, get your clean funnel. Put your 5 quarts in. Again, make sure your drain plug is on there so you don't dump all your oil down on the floor. Put your oil cap back on. So this is a step a lot of people forget. Afterwards, start the engine, let it go run for 5-10 seconds just to circulate the oil. Make sure nothing's leaking. Also, check your oil level after you do that, because sometimes it will fill the filter and the oil level will go down. So just make sure that your oil level is good after you started it for a couple of seconds. And then obviously make sure you dispose of your oil properly. And I'll show you how to reset the oil check light too. Alright, so once you've started it for a little bit, just check around, make sure nothing's leaking, because once it's pressurized, if it's going to leak, that's when it's going to leak. See some old oil here, but no new oil, so that's a good thing. To reset the oil life, push this without hitting the brake just one time to get it to the run position. Once you get it in the run position, you're going to use these arrows here to scroll over until you get to the oil life, and then it says hold OK to reset. So you're going to hold the OK button in the center on the steering wheel, and that will reset it. Very simple.